Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. First thing on the agenda tonight is the approval of our minutes from January the 25th. Are there any corrections or comments or any changes in the minutes? No? Not, those approved as submitted. Next item on the agenda is the report of the town manager, Mr. Warner.
Thank you, Mayor Black, members of council. A few things to cover. Just yet another reminder that our budget and strategic planning retreat will take place in council chambers on Saturday, February 26th, beginning at 9 o'clock a.m. The town attorney will also provide required training for all members of council as part of the event. Also, there is another holiday recognized by the state which occurs prior to our next regular meeting that I wanted to remind our customers about. Town offices will be closed on Monday, February 21st in observance of President's Day. I am extremely pleased to announce that Mrs. Ann Cantrell will be joining the management team of the town of Bedford in the position of finance director. She is coming to us from the town of Vinton, where she has served with distinction in that same kind of role since 2016, and her first official day on the job will be March 7th. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize and thank all members of town staff for their service and dedication to this community. You know, within the past month, we have faced and overcome several operational challenges, but the fact of the matter is, you all, our citizens and customers, have probably not even been aware of those because we have continued to provide our usual high-level service. That's a direct result of the hard work, creativity, and intelligence of the employees throughout our organization, and I just felt compelled to say that. I thank them, and I am grateful and honored to be a part of this team. And that concludes my report.
Any questions for Mr. Warner? No? All right. Next we have appearances before council. Okay. Council comments. Mr. Carson, we'll start with you this evening.
Well, I didn't have any plan, but I would like to say I was listening to Bart thanking the town staff, and I just want to say they did do a fine job all the way through all of it. Yeah. DW, I can't tell you enough about the job that you guys do, your short staff. I really can't. So I just like to piggyback on that and say thank you for your hard work in spite of. We appreciate you.
I have to echo that. Appreciate the sidewalks, especially during the snows. I think that was before last meeting, but it was nice outside my office to see it all cleaned up. I came with my shovel ready. It has got my shovel guys missing in action, so it was on me, but thank you.
I just want to welcome the Boy Scouts here tonight. I also want to welcome internal Chief Walker over there, and thank John and DW for all the hard work they do to keep our lights on and keep our streets clean in this town of Bedford.
I too just want to thank all the departments for the fine jobs you all did and dedication to the job, and Boy Scout Troop 183, welcome. I appreciate what you all do and make the most of it. I too am an Eagle Scout, so I went through the scouting process, camp and all that, so stick with it. It's well worth it.
I guess I sound like an echo in here because same thing. I think our staff has done a great job of keeping things going. I've heard wonderful comments from a lot of citizens. The only shortcoming I heard was some of our neighbors and things don't realize we have a requirement that you clear your sidewalks within 24 hours, and it's pretty well ignored. But I had several people call me about that to say, I don't understand why people are not clearing their sidewalks. And I said, maybe it's because the snow was too heavy for a lot of folks. I mean, it was just real tough for anybody to clear it without, and knowing how hard it was to dig it out, I think the staff did a wonderful job, and I don't know how John kept the lights on, but you did good. And our police officers, as usual, those guys are always around to help, and I appreciate them very much. I think that we're fortunate. I keep telling everybody we have one of the best police forces in the area. That and they're very kind to folks. I've seen several people get stopped, and they're just kind of warned to not do what they're doing. So I love that. I appreciate that.
Okay, first of all, I want to welcome Boy Scout Troop number 183 to the meeting. Thank you for coming out. Everybody else that came out to the meeting, thank you for coming out. Also, this past weekend we had an excellent retirement party for our retired Chief Todd Foreman. We sent him out in style, and you know he's going to be hard to replace, but I think we can get somebody good to come in and be able to do the job, keep a good thing going. We've got the best police department in the area, or at least that's my opinion. Thank you, DW, for everything your department did during those snowstorms, ice storms, because I know there was a time when people couldn't really make out their houses because it was like, do I step on my house, slip on the ice, and break my neck? I'll admit when I moved from Michigan, I thought I wasn't going to have a problem with snow anymore. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to quite escape the snow and ice storms. Thank you for everything you did to help out with that. John, thank you for everything you did to help keep the lights on during those snowstorms, because I know that definitely did take up quite a bit of your time. Thank you for doing that. I also want to thank Mr. Walker for stepping in, even though we don't know if it's going to be for how long, but for at least filling some shoes for just a little bit. Thank you for coming out and doing everything you do, and to all our police officers that kept us safe during the snowstorm and beyond. Thank you for everything they've done as well, and pass that along. Thank you, everyone.
I'd like to echo and welcome Boy Scout Troop 183. I won't tell any stories on your Scoutmaster. We were in Scouts a few years ago. Either one of them. But anyway, no, welcome. I know you're working on your citizenship badge, and that's an important merit badge, and we're glad to have you here tonight. Unfortunately, our meeting's a little light tonight, so it won't be any fireworks, I don't believe, tonight. But anyway, you're welcome to come back at any time. If you ever got questions about what we do, what our staff does, feel free to reach out to us by email or give us a call. Be happy to tell you a little more about, what we do and everything. So once again, welcome. Shannon, welcome to your first council meeting as our interim police chief. If there's anything we can do to support you during this time, just let us know. We appreciate you stepping up and leading our police department. We expect and know that things will continue to run smoothly, and appreciate that. And DW and John, you all continue to perform admirably when we have these weather events, and we all appreciate that and what you do, not just during those times, but every day. We understand you're both short-staffed, and hopefully maybe we can come up with some solutions to help you on that here in the near future as we get into budget season. So that'll be one of the things I know we're going to kind of talk about a good bit. So with that, and like I said, we'll probably try to do something next council meeting for Chief Foreman. Hopefully have some kind of formal recognition on behalf of council. So we'll do that at the next meeting in February. Okay. Next, let's see here. We've got a report of council committees. I think the only committee that met was property and.
Yes. Well, property committee met tonight. The meeting went well. We've got some great things coming down the pike. Can't really give a lot of details at this point in time, but I can tell you for sure that we've got some excellent things that are going to be coming down the pike, and I'm pretty excited about. And At a future date, we'll be able to tell you more about it, but I think y'all are going to be very pleased.
That was the only committee I think that met since the last meeting. No revisions to the agenda, we don't have anything to add to the agenda, any changes, right? So next, we'll move into the consent agenda, which is, the first item is appointment of a member to the Planning Commission. Mr. Warner?
The term of Ms. Lonnie Bailey on the Planning Commission expires on March 31, 2022. Ms. Bailey has expressed a willingness to serve another term on the commission, which will be a 4-year term if reappointed by council. The vacancy has been advertised in the local newspaper. No other citizens have volunteered to serve. Tonight, council is requested to reappoint Ms. Lonnie Bailey to serve a 4-year term on the Planning Commission, said term to expire March 31, 2026.
All right, we have a motion to reappoint Lonnie Bailey to the Planning Commission.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all right. Any discussion? None? All right, roll call.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mr. Hartwick.
Aye.
Mr. Johansson.
Aye.
Mr. Carson.
Aye.
Mr. Showen.
Aye.
Mr. Stanley.
Aye.
Mayor Black.
Aye.
Motion carries with 7 ayes.
Well, real quick, Bart, do we have any other openings on any of, there's no other openings on the Planning Commission right now, is there?
No, sir.
Or what about any of our, maybe if there are, I don't mean to throw you on the spot, but if there are any we need to fill in, let us know so that we can make sure we.
I am aware that we have a potential position available on the Board of Zoning Appeals, although that's actually coordinated through the Attorney's Office and the Circuit Court.
All right, okay, thank you.
Otherwise, I think we have a full vote.
Full, everything else is full, good, okay.
Very good.
Mr. Mayor, if I might ask what the typical practice is here with regard to that? I know some localities, it's really entirely up to the circuit court judges with whom they want to appoint. Some places, the town council will nominate one or more names to the circuit court judges to appoint to BZA. What is the normal practice here so that I can make sure and submit an order to the judge for whatever it is?
I don't remember the last time we appointed someone
The
to.
normal practice is we beg somebody to let us know they're
Right,
interested in it.
so however you can do,
I'm sorry.
whatever you need to do to get that position filled, Mr. Longman.
Understood, Mr. Mayor.
Whatever works for them.
Whatever will work, I think.
I've got it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, next item is the request to block streets for Centerfest from the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Central Virginia Business Coalition is requesting to close the following streets for the Bedford Centerfest on Saturday, September 24th, 2022, from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. The intersection of West Main and Center Street and Washington Street, South Bridge Street and Washington Street, South Street and Washington Street, Depot Street and North Bridge Street with a roadblock set up at the Market Square area for downtown business parking, North Bridge Street directly in front of the former American National Bank property, Plunkett Street and Depot Street, East Main Street and Odie Street, Court Street and Depot Street, again with barricades at Goose Creek Studio so cars cannot enter Depot or Court Street from the parking lot area. Affected businesses will be notified, as well as the police department, fire department, and rescue squad. Town council is requested to grant permission to close the above-named streets for Bedford Centerfest on Saturday, September 24, 2022, from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m.
So we have a motion to close the streets for Centerfest?
I make a motion, we close the above streets for Bedford Centerfest on Saturday, September 24th, 2022, from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a question.
Certainly.
They paid all the fees and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
All right, roll call.
Mr. Hartwick.
Aye.
Mr. Johansson.
Aye.
Mr. Carson.
Aye.
Mr. Showen.
Aye.
Mr. Stanley.
Aye.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mayor Black.
Aye.
Motion carries with 7 ayes.
All right, the next item is a request to block streets for the Bedford Christmas Parade by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Central Virginia Business Coalition is sponsoring the 2022 Bedford Christmas Parade on Saturday, December 3rd, 2022 at 11 a.m. with a rain or snow date of Sunday, December 4th, at 3 p.m., and is requesting the council authorize the closing of the usual parade route for the holiday event. And if you have questions about the specifics of that route, I'll go into that, but it is before you. Again, affected businesses will be notified, as well as the police department, fire department, and rescue squad. Town council is requested to close the usually requested route for the Bedford Christmas Parade on Saturday, December 3rd, 2022, at 11 a.m., with a rain or snow date of Sunday, December 4th, at 3 p.m.
We have a motion to close the streets for the Christmas parade.
I make a motion we close the above streets for the Bedford Christmas Parade on Saturday, December 3rd, 2022 at 11 a.m. with a rain or snow date of Sunday, December 4th at 3 p.m.
We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? One thing, oh, go ahead. No, go
No, you
ahead.
go ahead first.
One thing, just remind them, if you would, Bart, or DW, that they need, after the parade, to get their signs up. There's still signs up in the neighborhood, so if they could do that. Just a reminder, it's not, I've almost taken them down and brought them to you, but,
They're her signs, I'll remind her.
okay, yeah, if you don't mind. All right, that was the only comment I've got.
Only question I would have, that's not going, most time they have like a 5K run or something, that's not going to affect their run that morning or not.
And I anticipate we'll get a separate request from the Bedford Y.
Okay, I just
Starts
wanted
at
to
8,
ask
yeah.
that question.
That's early in the morning.
It's always been the same.
I'm assuming they'll do
Yeah.
that, but
All right. Any other questions, comments? No? All right, roll call.
Mr. Johansson?
Aye.
Mr. Carson?
All right.
Mr. Schoen?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Hartwick?
Aye.
Mayor Black?
Aye.
Motion carries with 7 ayes.
All right, next item is motion to go into closed session pursuant to section 2.2-3711A 29 of the Code of Virginia of 1950 as amended for discussion of the award of a public contract and the terms or scopes of the contract where discussion in an open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body. So I need a motion.
So moved.
We got a motion from Mr. Councilman Johansson,
Second.
second from Councilman Haley. Roll.
Mr. Carson?
All right.
Mr. Schoen?
Aye.
Mr. Stanley?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Hartwick?
Aye.
Mr. Johansson?
Aye.
Mayor Black?
Aye.
Motion carries with 7 ayes.
All right, so.
hereby certifies that, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the council.
So moved.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Mr. Schoen.
Aye.
Mr. Stanley.
Aye.
Mr. Haley.
Aye.
Mr. Hardwick.
Aye.
Mr. Johansson.
Aye.
Mr. Carson.
Aye.
Mayor Black.
Aye.
Motion carries with 7 ayes.
All right, motion, we're adjourned. Wait a minute.